Okay, so today we're gonna be simplifying rational expressions. Okay, so before we get to the examples, let me go over these two things really quick. First of all, when you multiply, right, you can multiply the numerator and then the two denominator. The two numbers in the denominator, and then we divide and we get 5, right? You could also, simplify by eliminating that factor right there, and at the end you end up with 10 divided by 2, which also gives you 5. So you're allowed to cancel the same factor top and bottom, right? And you see that you're gonna come up with the same answer, right? 50 divided by 10 is 5, 10 divided by 2 is also 5. And then what happens when you're adding though? What happens when you're adding? See, in this case, when there's addition or subtraction going on, it's not the same. Like in this case, if you notice you got 5 plus 10 is 15, and then 2 plus 5 is 7. 15 divided by 7 is 2.1. So it's not the same. I mean, if you try to cancel the 5s out, you get 10 divided by 5. That'll give you. 10 divided by 2. That will give you 5. But you see that you're not gonna get the same answer. So you're not allowed to cancel out. Numbers like in this case when you're adding. Has to be when you're multiplying. You can only take out the factors, right? So let's go to the examples now. Okay, if you notice in number 1 there are no plus or minuses, so it's gonna be easy. It's like the ones we've done in the past. We just divide each by 5 to get to simplify that fraction. So you get 3/5. Let's extend that fraction bar a little bit to allow some space for the variable, and then when it comes to the variable, you want to keep the exponent positive. So you're gonna keep it on top, right? We've done this before. 6 minus 2 is 4, right? So what about this one? That's a negative fraction, right? So got no problem with that. We know it's gonna be a negative fraction, and then what? Divide by 3. And then the variables. 3 is the highest one on the bottom. 3 minus 2 is 1. 1 right there. And B, highest one is on the bottom. 7 take away 5 is 2. Right? So these are my answers. Okay, so that's easy because there's no plus or minus that's going on. So you could always, if you would have come out with the same factor, right? Like if you would have gotten, for instance, like a y square here somewhere, like let's say there was like a y or y to the 5th, whatever, y to the 5th, you'll be allowed to cancel the y to the 5th out because this is multiplication going on here. Okay, so you could do that. Now, what about number 3? Okay, you cannot simplify the 9 and 3 even though they're both divisible by 3. Even though you could divide 9 by 3, you cannot do that because there's subtraction going on. So you could only cancel out the factors. So what I'm doing is I'm going to try to factor anything that is possible. So in this case, I can use my GCF for these two and come out with 3 parentheses, right? We've seen that when we did factoring, minus 3, right? We just took the GCF and then over x minus 3. See, now I'm allowed to cancel this whole factor with the denominator, and the answer for that would be just 3. See, whatever's left is going to be my answer. In this case, 3 is the only thing that is left. Therefore, that's my answer. Okay? And then what about the next one? Okay, so again, let's look at the denominator. And notice that 25 goes into both, right? 25. That's my GCF. X minus 1. Now I can simplify these because now this is a factor. So now I divide by 5 and by 5. So at the end the answer is going to be 7 over 5 times x minus 1. And that is going to be my answer. So let's try this one now. Number 5. Let's okay, again, when you see plus or minuses, anywhere you have to try to factor, right? X plus 5, you can't factor that, What about this one down here? I see GCF going on here, so let me do it. 1.5. X plus 5, cannot do anything with it. And then on the bottom I got the GCF, which is 5x, right? This is right here, 5x. And then what goes inside the parentheses? 5x times x, 5x squared plus 5x times 5 is 25x. That's it right there. Let's put it here, 5x times x plus 5. And now I can cancel the x plus 5 because it is a whole factor now. And that's it. So how would you write this down as an answer? There's nothing left on top, so need to put a 1 on top, right? If there's nothing left on the bottom, then you don't care. I mean, you could leave nothing on the bottom in the denominator, but when it comes to the numerator, there's nothing else left. You have to put a 1 there, and then over 5x. So this will be my answer. What about the next one? Okay, so let's try that. So I'm gonna try to factor the numerator. I see 4 goes into both numbers, so now 4 parentheses. 4 times 1 gives you 16a, that'd be 4a minus 4 times 1 gives you 4. And then on the bottom you got a 20. So now you could simplify that 4 into 20, right? You couldn't do it right here because there's subtraction going on here. So we have to factor it. So that's what I did, and now I could divide both by 4. And that's going to be my answer. 4a minus 1, right? There's no reason for you to put 1 parentheses. If it would have been any number other than 1, then you put a parentheses. But in this case, you could just put the 4a minus 1 over 5. And that's going to be my answer. So let's look at the next one now. I got x plus 2 over x squared plus 7x plus 10. There's nothing I can do about the top, but the bottom I know those are my trinomials, right? The easy ones. You can have x in both. And then two numbers that gives you 10 when you multiply and add up to 7, that'd be 5 and 2. Positive 5 and positive 2. That's it. Right, so let me rewrite the whole thing here. X plus 2 over x plus 5, x plus 2. Now I'm allowed to cancel this whole factor with the numerator. So I got left what? Don't forget 1 on top. I put it over here. 1 on top over x plus 5. Okay, the next one is two trinomials, just like the one we just did over here. So let's try to do those. I know it's gonna be x and x. Two numbers that give you negative 35 when you multiply and add up to negative 2, that has to be negative 7, right? Because the highest one needs to be negative and positive 5. Negative 7 times positive 5 is negative 35, and negative 7 plus 5 is negative 2. And then on the bottom I'm gonna have same thing, x and x. So numbers that give you 15 when you multiply and add up to 8, that'd be 5 and 3. That's it. So I notice I have the same factors top and bottom, so I'm gonna take them out. Take that one out, take that one out, right? Or if you wish to put it here first so you can see it better. Again, you take them out, right? And then whatever is left is going to be my answer. So what is left? X minus 7 over x plus 3. And that's going to be my answer. Also, let's keep going. Let's try to factor the numerator now. Okay, so it's a trinomial. I know it's going to be x. Let me do it. Let me do it right here. I know it's going to be x and x, right? And then two numbers that gives you negative 21 where you multiply and add up to positive 4, that'll be positive 7 and negative 3. Right, positive 7 and negative 3. 7 times negative 3 is negative 21, and 7 minus 3 is positive 4. And then on the bottom I have a difference of two squares, right? X squared is a perfect square, the square root of it is x, and 9 is a perfect square, the square root of 9 is 3. Therefore I do x minus 3, x plus 3. And now what? And I need to cancel the x minus 3, right? So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to take these two out, and whatever is left is going to be my answer. So that's going to be x plus 7 over x plus 3. Okay, what about the next one? I got another trinomial, x and x, right? And the two numbers that give you positive 10 when you multiply and add up to negative 7, that has to be negative 5 and negative 2. Negative 5 times negative 2 is positive 10, and negative 5 plus negative 2 is going to be negative 7. And then on the bottom I have another difference of squares. So I got x minus 5, x plus 5. And we will just take out the x minus 5. And then what's left is going to be my answer. So that's going to be x minus 2 over x plus 5. What about this one here? I have a difference of squares, right? So they both got square roots, right? So it'll be x and y, so it'll be x minus y, x plus y. And then this one is the common factor one, so it'll be 3 parentheses x minus y. And now we take out the x minus y. And whatever is left is going to be my answer. So what is left there? x plus y over 3. And that's going to be my final answer. What about the next one? Okay, so a is my common factor, so it'll be a parentheses a minus 6. Here's a trinomial, right? So I got a and a. One number is go along with those a's. Two numbers that gives you positive 6 when you multiply and add up to negative 7, that has to be negative 6 and negative 1. Negative 6 and negative 1 is positive 6, and negative 6 plus negative 1 is negative 7 right there. All I have to do at this point is take out the same factor top and bottom. We take those two out. And then what's my final answer? Whatever is left up there has to be a over a minus 1. That's going to be my answer. Okay guys, let's do 13 now. Okay, so I got two trinomials, right? The one on top is easy. That's the one that we just got x and x. Those are the easy ones because there's no number here, right? So two numbers that give you 2 when you multiply and add up to 3, that's to be positive 2 and positive 1, right? What about the bottom one? I have a number here, so this is the one that you need to do the crisscross. 3x times x gives you 3x squared, right? And then negative 1 times 1 gives you negative 1. We cross multiply 3x times 1 is 3x. X times negative 1 is negative 1x. Combines to 2x, which matches the middle term, so that's it right there. It's 3x minus 1 times x plus 1. Then put it all here. So on top I had x plus 2, x plus 1, and then on the bottom I have 3x minus 1 times x plus 1. And I notice that I have the same factor top and bottom, so I'm going to take it out. I'll take them out right there. So whatever is left is my answer. So my answer could be x minus 2 over 3x minus 1. And that is the end of it. Okay, let's do number 14 now. Again, the top is going to be the easy trinomial with no number here, so it'll be x and x. Two numbers that give you negative 6 when you multiply and combine to negative 1, has to be negative 3 and positive 2. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6, negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. What about this one though? Okay, again, you see a number here, and then you try to do the crisscross that we did over here, but before you do that, always try to look for a common factor. Unlike this one here, there's a common factor here, which is 3. 3 goes into all of them. So I'm going to factor it out. I'm going to 3 parentheses x squared minus 5x plus 6. Right, and then we don't stop here because now this trinomial is going to be the easy ones that just put the x's down and then you figure out what numbers are going to go along with those two x's. And then I'm looking for two numbers that gives you positive 6 when you multiply and negative 5 when you combine. So it has to be negative 3 and negative 2. Negative 3 and negative 2. Don't forget to bring the 3 down, that's part of the answer. Okay, so that's what I have. So let me put everything down here. So on the top I had x minus 3, that's my numerator, x minus 3, x plus 2. That's what I get after I factor that numerator. And then on the bottom, after I factor completely, I came out with 3, x minus 3, x minus 2. Correct? And then I cancel the x minus 3's out. And whatever's left is going to be my answer. So, in this case, happens to be x plus 2 on top, and then 3 x minus 2 on the bottom. And that's the end of it. Okay guys, so we're down to the last 2 examples, right? So let's try to factor the top. Okay, the top, okay, I notice it's a trinomial, the one that you will use the x method. But before you do that, notice like 5 goes into all 3 terms, so I'm gonna factor it out to make it easier for me. So I'm gonna have 5 parentheses x squared plus 6x minus 7, right? And then after I take the 5 out as a common factor, I notice that, I could still factor the, what's inside the parentheses. That's an easy trinomial with the 2 x's. And one number gives you -7. When you multiply and add up to +6, that'll be +7 and -1. 7 times -1 is -7, and then +7 minus 1 or plus -1 gives you +6. Don't forget to bring the 5 up there. What about the bottom? Let's try the GCF. 5 x squared minus 1, and x squared minus 1 is a difference of 2 squares, right? They both got perfect square roots. The square root of that is x, the square root of 1 is 1, so I'm going to have x plus 1, x minus 1, and then 5. So let's rewrite what I have after I factor completely. On the top I have 5 x plus 7 x plus 7 x minus 1. On the bottom I have 5 x plus 1 x minus 1, right? And now I can take out the factors at the same top and bottom, so I'm going to take these 2 out. I'm going to take the 5 out as well. And then at the end I'm going to come up with what? What is left at the end? X plus 7 over x plus 1. And that's my final answer. Okay, so that's what you're supposed to do. Okay, now let's try the last example. So I'm going to factor the numerator. I notice I have a GCF up there. So what is the greatest common factor for these 2 terms? 4 goes into both. X is also common to both. And I choose the smallest exponent between 3 and 2. That has to be 2. Open parentheses. For x squared times what gives you 4x to the third, that has to be x. And for x squared times what gives you 16x squared, that has to be 4. Right? That's all I can do as far as the numerator goes. I'm going to go ahead and try to factor the bottom one. Okay, before I do the crisscross, I notice that 2 goes into both of them. So to make it easier for me, I'm going to factor 2 out. X squared plus 9x plus 20. And then I notice this trinomial is factorable. I know it's going to be the one with x in both. two numbers that gives you 20. When you multiply and add up to 9, that has to be positive 4 and positive 5. Okay, so let's write down what I have on top after I factor for x squared over x plus 4. On the bottom I have 2 x plus 4 x plus 5. Okay, so you notice that we have x plus 4, same factor top and bottom, so I just take them out, and whatever is left, this could be my answer. So the final answer would be 4x squared over 2 x plus 5, and that would be my final answer. Okay guys, that's it for now.